It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday to you guys. It is Monday, November 11th, 11/11. November 11th, 2019, which means that we have just 52 days left this year to make 2019 a year to remember. This morning, I want to talk to you guys about an event that I was at yesterday. I was in Miami Beach speaking to a bunch of contractors at a mastermind self-development type event. It was primarily focused towards roofers, but it was an awesome event. Just a ton of energy in the room. It's always awesome to be around people who are trying to grow and trying to make a better version of themselves. And so I wanted to share with you guys some of what I took away from that event this morning while I was consuming the content, sitting there, consuming the content of the other speakers while I was sitting there waiting for my turn on stage. And the title of today's show is You're Playing Too Small. And that comes from myself feeling that way when I was sitting there yesterday. But first, I want to give a shout out to everybody that's on here this morning. We got Patricia, Bruce, and Trisha that I can see, and I appreciate you guys. You're always tuned in and watching. Let's see, somebody else just popped on here. Lydia, what's happening? Good morning. I appreciate the share. Trisha, if you guys could share this out, I would appreciate it. I think this is a message that will reach a lot of people. Good morning, Dina. How are you? So, guys, here's the deal. The title is called You're Playing Too Small for a reason. And, I was thinking on the plane on the way home last night. I got home about 12:30 a.m., I think. And, I was thinking the whole plane ride home. I'm like, man, I'm watching this event, and I'm looking at everybody that's around me, and I'm looking at people that are just investing in themselves and, doing all the right things to win, right? They're making all the right decisions to get themselves ahead. And it's always interesting to me that every one of those events that I go to does something similar to me. It charges me up. It makes me find something different that I could be doing better, that I could be reaching more people, that I could be impacting more lives. And I sat there all day listening to this content and watching what was going on there. And I was just thinking to myself, like, man, as far as I've come, like, how much further do I have to go? And I'm pulling the reins back in a lot of ways because this ride that I'm on feels a little out of control sometimes, right? It feels like there's too much going on, or, from time to time, I feel like there's a few things here and there that are slipping because I've got so much going on. And the reality is that what I realized yesterday is that not just me, but I think that all of us play entirely too small when it comes to how we try to go after the things in life that we want. And there's a couple of things that came to my mind, and I started typing notes into my notes app in my iPhone immediately. And it was, here's a couple of the points that I made, is that, number one, our goals are too small because we're not taking enough action to even support those goals. So when you think about setting your goals, think about how can you get there faster? How can you do more? How can you take some risks that'll put you in a little bit different situation, right? Our goals are way too small. And the reason for that is, here's the reason, here's what I came up with, is that most people, if you set an enormous goal, most people around you are going to try to pull that goal back. Think about that. Everybody around you, or a lot of people, the majority of people, are going to try to pull that goal back instead of trying to find a way that you can actually achieve it. Because that's how people work. They get scared, so they try to talk you out of your big dream. And that's a fact. I've had it happen to me. It happens all the time because the immediate response when you throw those goals out is going to be shock. It's going to be, we can't do that. It's going to be, all the negatives are going to come back at you. And you have to be prepared to help those people see it from your perspective. Here's the example that I'll give. When you were born on this earth, when you were given life by God, you were born to this earth uniquely talented and ready to do something to change the world, right? So ask yourself this question: what happened? What happened when you started believing that you weren't capable of everything you believed when you were a baby? I read somewhere or heard somewhere, I try to be transparent about where I get things from so that you guys can follow some of the same people, consume even more content. I can't remember who this came from, but it said when you are born, there's only two fears that you have. And that is of being dropped and loud noises. Everything else is learned throughout your lifetime. Every other fear. And what I will tell you guys is that our perspective of what we're capable of and where we're at in comparison to our goals is all jacked up because of what people tell us. Because of how people try to pull back on the reins constantly. Because the fact remains, this is the consistency in everything, every aspect of life, is that most people don't want to work hard enough to get it. Most people don't want to go through the inconvenience to get what they want. That's just how it is, guys. That's not being rude. That's not it's just calling it as it is. Most people are not willing to sacrifice what it takes to get that big goal, and so they will try to talk you out of it. That's how it is. And a lot of the other reason that I've found is that people have made mistakes in the past, right? They've made mistakes in the past. Maybe those mistakes have created some discomfort, in their life. That they've gone through some things because they made some decisions that didn't work out. And so now they're just playing it safe. They're playing it way too small because of those mistakes. And I got news for you guys. Here's a little secret. You've already been forgiven for all those mistakes in your life. Forget about those mistakes. Learn from them, but forget about those mistakes and keep pushing forward. You have to be willing to take risks to get ahead. I was talking to a contractor on the phone last night, going back from Miami to the Fort Lauderdale airport in my Uber. And, I thought about that conversation I had with that guy quite a bit afterwards. He was telling me all the things he's trying to do to get his business pushing forward. And so he's, joined one program. He was looking at joining another. He was talking about our top contractor school program. And he was asking for advice, guiding him, what to do. And one of the things he said was like, man, I want to get where I'm going. Like my wife, I want to take care of my family. The reason that we all get stuck not being able to get where we want to go is because we're holding ourselves back. We are implementing fear into our lives to hold us back, to allow us to give ourselves the permission to play it safe, to play it small. It's ridiculous. We all do it. And I say it's ridiculous because I'm doing it to myself. If you could hear the frustration in my voice, like yesterday was like, there was a couple of aha moments for me in that day that I was like, man, number one, there were a couple of things that I learned in that room that I thought were very difficult before that. And I sat in that room and said, man, if I would have just taken the time to look into this, I'd have figured out 6 months ago how simple it was. But I chose to play it safe. I chose to continue playing small because I've got a lot going on. It feels out of control. I give myself the same excuses that I'm telling you guys you probably give yourself. And the reality is, guys, what you have to do, here's the key. You have to surround yourself. Good morning, John Cerrone. What's happening, brother? Jeff Johnson, what's going on, man? Epling, what's happening? So we've got lots of governors on every single thing that we do. But what you have to do, you have to get around people that continue to push you, not that pull you back, not that want to pull the reins, not that want to slow down all the time. I've been around tons of people in my life that have tried to go slow, and the truth is they've never made a whole lot of difference or impact. And if that's what you have set out to do, is to make a lot of impact on this world, to change a lot of people's lives, to help a lot of people, then you got to watch how much you take advice from those people or how much you're interacting with those people with regard to what you're trying to accomplish. Because I promise you guys, they're going to build just this much doubt that's going to stop you from doing it. So I will end with this, guys. When you think about your life and you think about how you've played it, just be honest. Have you played it safe? Are you playing it safe right now? Should you be investing more money into marketing? Should you be investing more money into self-development? Should you be investing more money into employees, into moving your company forward, into yesterday, JC, you'll know, Vic Tipnis made a post about hiring people and how he started from zero. It was just him a few years ago, and now he's got, I think he said, 130 employees. It takes people to make the magic happen, guys. It takes people. It takes marketing. It takes exposure. It takes being in front of people. And if you're not doing that in your life, if you're not going all in, if you're 99% committed or less, you're not going to get what you want. And that's the truth. And yesterday, I was watching some of the things that were happening in that room, and I thought to myself, there are areas of this stuff that I need to be 100% committed, that I'm 99% committed. And I thought it was an important message to share with you guys. Evaluate every aspect of your life, your business, everything. And ask yourself, 99%, guys, isn't going to cut it. The difference in results from 99% committed people to 100% committed people is 5 times. 5 times the results the people who are all in are going to get. And by the way, guys, just be prepared. It takes sacrifice to be all in. It takes discomfort. It takes a lot of pressure. Yesterday, it was said about 5 times from the stage, pressure is a privilege. It wasn't said in those exact words, but pressure is a privilege, guys. Put the pressure on yourself, and when you look back in your life, a year from now, 2 years from now, you're going to be happy that you did it. I'm happy in a lot of aspects of my life that I've put a lot of pressure on myself, that I've put a lot of pressure on our system as a company, that I've put, all those things. I made a lot of decisions that put us in good spots. But there are still some to go. And you have to constantly be evaluating that stuff. Where are those decisions that take you from great to exceptional, from good to great? You always want to be climbing that ladder, right? And the advice that I gave the guy on the phone last night was this. I said, you want to get around people that are just that much further ahead of you, right? Some people that are just that much further ahead and some people that are way ahead. You always want to be around some people who are trying to pull you forward, right? And if you're not, if you're looking around and everybody that's around you is below you or not in the place that you want to be, then don't expect to be moving forward too fast, because without those people, without the rabbit to chase, it'll be very difficult for you to even see what you're capable of. That's the truth. So stop playing small, guys. Open your mind up to what's out there. Sacrifice, take some risks, put some money into marketing. The worst case scenario is that a lot of people that didn't know you before know you now. If you put money into marketing, you put time into social media, you put time into creating videos to get your brand out there. You put, whatever it is. Whatever it is that you want to do in life, you got to put time and money and effort into to get the result. And stop playing small, guys. Change your mindset to what you're actually capable of. What did you believe when you were born. You believed you were capable of anything. You went from not knowing anything, to having to be held by your mother, by your parents, to being able to stand up and walk and then run and learn how to speak and communicate just like this. Then you learned you learned all of these things. But somehow we convince ourselves that the next step we have to take is too difficult. And that is nothing but a safety mechanism that we have in our brains that tell us to pump the brakes. Because it's getting scary, or there's a lot of pressure. It's fight or flight. You gotta blow past it, guys. You gotta take the governor off and get off to the race. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys can, share this out so I can reach some more people here. We want to help everybody start their morning off on a better note. Every single morning at 7:30. Tomorrow morning, I think he's still on here, I got my man Bruce Pulver coming on the show to talk with you guys about a variety of things. I got a lot of questions for Bruce, but Bruce wrote a book called Above the Chatter, Words Matter. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about words. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow morning. And I'll be here with my man Bruce. And I'm excited to have him on the show. And I'm sure you guys are going to be excited to be able to listen to his perspective. I've spent about 45 minutes on a Zoom call with Bruce. And he's a special guy. And everybody deserves to know him. So invite your friends. I'll put out some stuff today. And if you guys could share that out and get more people to that show tomorrow morning, I would appreciate it. JC, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Bruce, there you are. Lydia, thank you for the share. My man Eli is on here. Good morning, brother. I appreciate you. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m., same place, same time. I love you guys. Thank you.